What is happening, everybody? We are back. This is episode 142 with JT, aka the Dusty Dutchman. Joey, have you been seeing this garage build out that he's doing? The Dusty Dutchman Part 2. Part
Yes,
2.
I was checking out his older garage recently and then admiring that one and then found out that he's tearing it down and then doing another one, which is awesome.
I know.
I need to build out the garage and the studio and all that, so I'm gonna take notes.
Yeah, he's a woodworker like you, man. He's doing it. He's doing it. So I figured you guys would probably have a lot to chat about because he's got a lot of wood right now. He's got a lot of wood. Got a lot of
Nice.
wood.
I have wood questions.
Oh, he does. We have, a lot of people in the chat already tonight. I see that, Johnny Yu from Miami, what's up? What's up, Mount by Q&A, and Trail Pimp is in the house.
Oh,
We
whoops, wrong
have
one.
oh, who did you Joey's in there highlighting. We have, Mia's in the house. Mountain bike, Q&A is saying to her, well, gosh, I'm reading all these already, but this is fun. Marty Octodad is in the house from New Zealand. This is going to be a good one. Spokesman's in the house. We will see Spokesman in a little bit in Sedona. One of my childhood buddies is on the line. Phil Zackerson, what's up, buddy? Good to see you in there, bro. He's tuning in from Facebook. We got Facebook in the house tonight too. Yeah,
Spokesman. Wow. Okay, I'm
yeah,
catching
it's
up. Yeah.
it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a fun one tonight. Joey, as we're kicking off the podcast, man, we are literally right around the corner from the Sedona Mountain Bike Festival. And if any of
Right?
you are going, it is or the excitement's already starting to build up. I was texting Steve earlier today, and we both sound like little kids, all excited about it.
So excited. I just showed up at Steve's house. I don't see him anywhere.
I know. Where's his bar? He's not even working the bar. I think it's unattended drinks there. You
Yeah,
can go
it's
get
open,
something.
he said, "Just pour away."
Okay. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it. Oh, man. As far as local news and things like that going on, anything that, that you learned or talked about? Wait, you just had a recent mountain bike celebrity in your neck of the woods from GMBN, yeah?
Oh, yes. Richard, what's his last name? Yeah, yeah, there's a few actually, there's a lot of people in the area right now. It seems like they're probably getting geared up to head out to Sedona, so they're here right in SoCal right now.
Dang, that's so cool. That's really cool. Yeah, I saw that and that was your local bike shop. It was,
Yeah, that was
your
my local bike shop, Vallejo Hangar with Gordon. Gordon is the, mechanic over there, great guy, great shop, so, yeah, it was cool to see
yeah,
them in
yeah.
there.
That's really cool. Give that place a little bit of a splash on the radar, which is awesome. I saw that one of our friends, April Zastro, was out riding in SoCal area, getting a lot of content for her channel. So I can't wait to see what's there. But
Yeah, I
she's
saw
been riding with some murderers.
I saw a little Peace Rock action today, some filming from
Yeah,
Peace Rock, so I know where she
yeah,
is.
yeah. The Academy.
Yeah,
That place is definitely in person. It's gnarly. It's super gnarly. Oh man, we got Chicken Sandy's in the house. He says, "What's up, guys?" We have Lauren in the house. She says, "Howdy, y'all." Oh, that's like Southern. Howdy, y'all.
I wanna know if she's in the tub watching this or if she's with Johnny.
I
Johnny
don't
says she's
know.
always in the tub with a glass of wine enjoying a book, but does she
D-
watch the podcast from there?
maybe electronics and water. She has to be careful. The
Yeah.
only thing too is she says, "Howdy, y'all," but I know this is not y'all. This is Howdy Joey. That's what she's
Caller.
saying. Howdy Jody to Joey. Um, MTB Tina. She says the Matrix is glitching on Joey's video. Is she glitching?
Uh-oh, my green
Uh-oh.
screen yeah. I'm in a
Is it?
different location, so things could go crazy tonight.
Yeah. Oh man. Here we go. Let's see. Yeah,
Oh, look, we
I
were
think the
right.
studio. Oh, she
Yeah,
is in the tub.
she
She
just
is in the
exited
tub.
to watch it so she didn't get electrocuted, so smart.
And I thought I grabbed my phone, but the studio phone was ringing. I haven't had the studio phone ring in a hot minute. That was crazy. Did you hear that on your side?
I did hear your phone, yes. Who's calling?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Someone's calling the studio. We paid all the bills, right, Joey? We're good to go.
That's your department.
That's true. I think, the bills are paid. Without further ado, speaking of
I just
bills, let's bring JT on, talk to JT, and then, oh, you know what? We gotta give out the whole shot award.
Yeah,
Should we give
whole
the whole
shot.
shot award out with JT on, or what should we do?
We can, why not?
Yeah, he's saying, "Love the hot tub." JT's in the green room saying, "Loves the hot tub." Love a hot tub. I know. Same. Trail pimps in the house. Yeah, let's do it. Let's throw on JT and then let's give out the whole shot award. Ladies and gentlemen, JT the Dusty Dutchman.
Yo, what's happening, guys? How are you?
Yo, what's up, brother? Dude, you sound so clean. What microphone are you using?
I've been sitting on this Rode. I don't know even know what it is, but I've been sitting on this Rode mic for a while. I don't know why. It was like kind of buried behind my screens here. Forgot I had it, and I pulled it out to give it a try, and seems like it works pretty good.
Dude,
So
works
good find, I
really
guess.
works really good. It works really good. Sounds so nice. Joey's over there switching hats real quick.
I think it was the green hats messing with the green screen. I
Oh,
don't
look
know,
at that. Look
maybe.
at that. JT, we are gonna give out the whole shot award tonight.
Oh yeah,
And as
I think I know who got it.
you know who got it?
I think
Let,
so. I was
let
watching. I was paying attention.
let's have JT hand out the whole shot award. Let's see. Does Joey have it start up?
Yeah, I'll pop it up, ready?
Um, yes. Without further ado, folks, you've all been waiting. The gates have been open, and the first person to the section of the whole shot, JT, I'll let you take it from here.
Attaboy, Johnny. Way to get in there first. I never doubted you, brother. I knew that. I knew you'd be first in there. Always getting the whole shot. You got to be first to that first turn, brother. And you got it. Attaboy.
Congratulations, Johnny, you out of Miami, taking home the whole shot. Trail Pimp usually is right in there. He must have been close. You know who hasn't taken it yet, and it would be cool to see? Chicken Sendies. Chicken Sendies got to be close. What's up, Joshua? Good to see you, man. He says, "What's up, guys? What is up?"
Love that name. That is one of the best. That is one of the best names.
It is one of the best. Johnny just said he did a backflip. Spokesman, first question coming out of Durango. He's saying, ask if the Dutchman will be in Sedona. Love the Vita.
I will be in Sedona. Unfortunately, I'll be there not at the right time because
Oh
I will be
no.
there the last weekend in April. Yeah, I'll be there last weekend in April, and I think that's what did I miss it by a week or two? Then Bike Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
It's coming up next weekend. So oh man, that was
I know.
close.
So I am going to be out there. I'm going to have to probably lean on a couple of you guys to point me in the right direction of the best trail to ride. I was kind of talking to Mia about it a couple weeks ago. So I probably only got a day or half a day to do some riding out there because we're doing Sarah and I are going to do a trip from we're going to hit up like Zion and Grand Canyon and Sedona and
Oh,
couple national parks, and we're going to finish in Sedona and go home after Sedona.
oh my God. You're gonna have to go straight to the eye doctor. All that eye candy. You're gonna have
No
eye
kidding. I know.
cavities.
I don't have a lot of experience in that area. I'm not a desert guy, and I'm don't see a lot of. I haven't seen a lot of canyons. I haven't seen a lot of desert, so I'm pretty excited to see
Right.
like a totally new topography and geography. I think it's gonna be cool.
Yeah, it's gonna. Oh man, Zion. That place is amazing. Are you gonna get any hikes in, or
Oh
or
yeah,
you bringing the bikes?
yeah. We're probably gonna rent some e-bikes while we're out there. We're gonna do some e-biking in Zion, and then I want to do Angels Landing. I think we're gonna go to Bryce Canyon. But yeah, gonna be a lot of hikes. Couple of e-bike rides, probably like do some like path and road riding with the e-bikes, and then when we get to Sedona, that's when I'll probably take a day, rent a bike, maybe find a guide or something, and just spend a day or half a day checking out what Sedona's got. Hopefully, their best trails is what I'm looking to hit. Is whatever
Yeah.
the best they got out there for my style of riding. So
What
that'll be
what
a
do
good way
you?
to end it. And in the
Yeah.
meantime, Sarah's not too big on the mountain biking just yet. She'll do fat biking. She'll do every other kind of cycling with me, but not big on the mountain biking just yet. I think this year she'll get into it a little bit more, but so she'll probably go shopping and I'll go mountain biking.
Ooh, that sounds like a good trade. That sounds
Yeah.
fun. That sounds
Oh yeah.
fun. Sedona's gonna have a lot of packed in, and I think that Bryce Canyon. They have is it the hoodoos? Is that what they call them? Those
I'm not even sure.
rock
Yeah, you got
structures.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
that's
hoodoo.
it. Yeah, those things look cool, like from another planet.
There's so
And
much of
then
that stuff out there. Looks so sick. I can't wait.
oh yeah, and then that Angel's Landing, I did that hike, and then once I got to the top, It was icy, snowy at the top. So that last section to go out there, we decided not to because it looked like you could probably slip and that'd be
Oh
it.
yeah, it looks
So
sketchy.
it's
It looks a bit sketchy.
it did.
Yeah,
It did, but
which is
I'd love to go
exactly
back.
why I want to go check it out. I'm gonna try to get Sarah to come up with me.
Yeah, God, you guys will score it. I think in April you should score it just right. It's gonna be amazing. I've
I
seen
think so.
oh
Yeah,
man, so good.
based on
Joey,
the
have you
research I've done, I think we're gonna hit the timing just right.
oh, so good. The colors and everything are gonna be so good. Joey, have you done the Angel's Landing before?
Yeah, I've been to Zion's beautiful. Angel's Landing's great. Walking up in the Narrows is awesome. I would
Yeah.
like to someday do the subway tunnel where you kind of leave the park and come back into it through the subway.
Yeah, it's
Whoa.
hard to choose, man. There's so many. I've done a bunch of research and talked to a bunch of people that have been there, and they're like, "You got to do this, and you got to do this, and you got to do this." I'm like, "I got 2 days,
Right,
so
Yeah.
right,
I gotta try to pick. I gotta try to pick the best of the best and go that route." The weird
right.
thing though is we missed the there's like a window where you gotta like apply to get the permits to go do Angel's Landing. So now since we missed that because we planned this trip late, I guess we got to do some kind of like day before we have to sign up for like a
Mm.
24-hour lottery to get a permit for the next day. So I'm hoping,
Okay.
fingers crossed, that I can get one.
Yeah. Hopefully
I
you'll get one.
I know when I did Half Dome, we didn't have permits. We couldn't get them. We tried the day before, and my son and I just took off and we hiked all the way there. And while we were hiking, we asked people if they had any room on their permit because I guess you
Oh,
can get
that's
sick.
smart.
So a lot of people would drop out. By the time we got up there,
Sure.
we found someone with 2 spots. So yeah.
That's a good call. That's a really good
Otherwise,
call.
we were going to get there and look at it and turn around, but it still would have been worth
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, for
Hey,
sure.
paid
No, that's a
off,
good call.
Joey. That
That's a good approach. I might do the same.
yeah, that would be good. And now as far as Sedona goes, I mean, we're jonesing because we're getting ready to ride there and hang out and you'll be there too in a couple weeks. What trails have you been looking at so far?
Just talking to Mia like a couple weeks ago, she mentioned I think the one that stood out the most to me was the Brewer Trail. Looked pretty sick.
Okay,
There's a
brewery,
few
yeah.
that I've heard multiple times, but that one it's popped up on my YouTube feed probably the most. So I've been checking that one out. But because I kind of like, I wouldn't say I'm a big chunk rider. That's not my favorite. I'll ride it. It's just if I only have a limited amount of time and I want to ride the best of the best of what my style is, it would be some light tech, but with some flow and mostly downhill. If I could get shuttled, I'll absolutely take some shuttles. I got nothing to prove out there trying to climb. Like I just want to I just want to have the best the most amount of fun I can possibly have in a half a day. So if that means I got to pay for a shuttle or a guide and rent, whatever bike I gotta rent, I'll do whatever it takes because this is my first time there. Don't have a lot of time. I'm sure I'll be back, but I want to get the best of the best while I'm there.
Yeah, definitely. I think if you head over to Thunder Mountain Bike Shop, Thunder Mountain's going to have the rentals you'll need and
Cool.
all the different trails to match you up with. Joey, can you think of any trails off the top of your head that sounds like kind of like not as
I've
heavy on the
only
tech side with some flow?
I've only done one trail in Sedona.
And we almost died.
Yeah, last time it was snowed out, so we didn't really do any trails. And the time before we did Slim Shady, and then the next day we went back and Slim Shady takes you to Highline. So we did Slim Shady and Highline.
Highline I've
Yeah,
heard of. Yeah,
Highline
that
is
one came up
beautiful.
a few
Highly
times.
recommended. I would like to ride other trails this time, but I definitely want to do one trip on Highline.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
we got
I've seen that White Line Trail too. The Trail Pimp just shouted out. That one looks pretty
Yeah.
rad too.
yeah, yeah. Joey did that one. He
Yeah,
was
right.
out there doing the white line. We found a
was
smaller
a
version of
white
the white line.
line.
It was a white line, and we filmed it to where it looked
Yeah,
like he was on the white line. And we're
a
like, "You're
dotted white line.
crazy."
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody bought it though. Everyone at the festival was like, "Oh, come on, Joey wasn't on the white line," but he could. He could. Women's MTB Network is asking, "Did you connect with Sedona MTB guides?"
Not yet. Not yet. I think yeah, you mentioned someone that you had a good connection with there that I should reach out to that could show me around, and we'll have to circle back on that so I can get his information, and I'll probably reach out to him. That sounds like exactly what I need. So I'll
Yeah.
definitely go that route.
Oh man, that's gonna be, dude. JT is gonna be so much fun.
I'm stoked. I know.
It's
It's like I
it,
said, I don't know. It's hard for me because I don't even know like really what to expect. Of course, when you see it online, it's one thing, and then when you get there, it's a totally different thing. So like I have an idea, but again, until you're there and your tires are on the ground and you're huffing and puffing, that's when you really get the feel for what what the deal is. So It's like cautious optimism. You know what I mean? Like there's been plenty of times where, your eyes are bigger than your heart sometimes, where I'll see some trails and I'll go do them. And then once you get to them in real life, you're like, this is over my head. Like this is more than I can handle.
Yeah.
That's happened on a few occasions. So I'm just, like I said, cautious optimism. I know everybody says it's amazing, but I'm just trying to temper my expectations right now, and just hopefully, I'm sure I'll be completely blown away. But
Oh yeah. No matter what you decide to do, you're gonna be blown away. It's so beautiful. I mean, we did a trail, Slim Shady to Easy Breezy. It like does this big loop and comes back. And there are a couple sections where you turn the corner and you have like this cathedral rock, and it's just like,
yeah,
oh my! You get
Yeah.
these views. You get this view of the airport. I mean, just you feel like you're in like you remember Roadrunner and
oh yeah,
the Coyote
yeah,
as
of
a
course.
kid. I feel like they drop you in this make-believe world of mountain bikes that they allow you to ride around in for a temporary
Yeah,
time.
that's cool. Yeah.
It's just
Yeah, it
Yeah,
doesn't
and like I
feel
said,
cool.
it's a scenery that I have no familiarity with that scenery. Like I've always kind of just searched out mountains. You know, I mean, like, yeah, even like, I shout out to, I got my California t-shirt on tonight
oh
for you
yeah.
guys.
Oh, look at that. Lake Tahoe, baby.
Like when we're in that area, we went to North Star. I've been, out to the Rocky Mountains a bunch of times, and couple stops in the Sierra Nevadas. I've been up to Whistler a few times. Like I always kind of searched out mountains. I just never made my way down that Southwest. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty excited about that, especially being a Midwest guy. Like, and I come from flatlands. Like I come from farm fields. So to me, these are like other worlds. So I'm excited to see a whole nother world.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna have a blast. You're getting a lot of people here in the chats that are telling you some things to do. Trail Pimp actually from the Lake Tahoe area from your shirt right there saying hit the Mesa
yeah.
Grill. It has really
Yeah.
good food. And then
Okay.
he's also saying, yeah, Sedona looks like
It
Mars.
does. It totally does. Yeah.
Yeah. Marty Octodad is asking, is Roadrunner based in Sedona? It totally could be.
It totally could be. Yeah.
It totally could be. And then up here, we are actually helping out the youth. Check this out. Tomb Warrior popped in. He's in college right now. He says, what's up? I have about 5-minute window between classes, dropping by to say hi. But he's also saying, my next class is a podcasting class. So this counts,
Oh,
right? Yes,
for sure.
it does.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell the teacher we said, what's up? You.
I guess so.
JT.
As far as road runners are concerned, I definitely don't want to do the thing where like I ride my bike like off the edge of a cliff and then just like hang there for a minute and then
Yeah.
create a
That's
nice
highline
crater
with water. Yeah.
in the canyon floor.
Exactly. Well, if you're riding your bike and you look down and like the logo just changes from like YT to Acme or something like that,
There you go.
then,
Yep.
then just get off the bike because you know something bad's gonna happen.
Yeah. Or I got a coyote chasing me.
He's always okay when he hits the ground, so maybe it wouldn't be too bad,
That's
right?
true. Yeah, exactly.
That's true. Yeah, Sedona is one of those like magical places. So I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, he's the king of the flat landing. He loves landing flat. He's really good at it.
He does. All the
No
suspension.
transition needed. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh man. So JT, you recently moved from
Mhm.
one house to another. You
Yep.
had built out the Dutchman's Den. For the
Mhm.
folks that are following you on YouTube, they can follow this journey and Instagram as well.
Yeah.
But you moved into like this bigger home, and tell the folks exactly what you're doing. Tell them a little bit about the old place and kind of what the new place is gonna cure for you.
Sure. So originally, like before I even ever decided to really get into YouTube, I've always been into home improvement stuff. Bunch of my previous careers have been mechanical in a sense. So I have some reasonable mechanical skills. So I like to fix up houses, and I've done some projects over the years. So when Sarah and I moved into together, she had almost a 3-car garage because it was 2.5 wide, but it was extra deep. So when I saw this garage that wasn't being utilized very much at all, I kind of asked, I was like, hey, can I just like do whatever I want with this garage? Like if I make it really nice, is it cool if I just, build this garage out really nice? You'll still be able to park your truck inside. We'll both park our trucks inside still, but everything else, do you mind if I just go nuts? She's like, no, have at it. It's yours. Go for it. So the whole premise was basically building a space solely dedicated to my love recycling, and that was kind of like the mission statement. Because I've always had smaller spots. Like in my previous houses, I always had like a little basement spot, like a little garage spot, and like, it's a office space with like a couple little, like my stuff was always spread out. You know what I mean? I never had one place that could just be bike stuff. It was always spread out. So I was like, this is the time. I got the skills, I think, and I got the space and the time. So I'm going to build out something that is just for me and my love for cycling. So that's what I did. So I built, it was most important to me that it just was organized. Like everything has a place. So that's why I kind of built it out the way it was. Every bike had a spot on the wall or a place to hang up. I had my little bar out there. I had the refrigerator out there. I had a nice big workbench, had all my tools visible. I come from a manufacturing background, so like 5S is very important. And that's basically everything in its place, everything organized. And that's something that my OCD loves, that stuff. So that's what I did. I just kind of made sure everything had a place, and I enjoy creating a nice aesthetic. And I really kind of like that picture of the bar that Joey just had in his background earlier.
Yeah.
Like that cool, like rustic aesthetic. So that's why I went with like that reclaimed wood, like accent wall in the back. And I went with like a darker trim and so there it is. Place to hang out. Like I wanted everything in one place. So again, all my bikes, everything, like that little corner spot there was where I could get ready. Like that was all, I called it my staging area. So like my road bike was there, my shoes were there, my computer was there, the water bottles were there. Wow. So everything was in one spot. It was just very purpose built.
Wow, looks cool.
I got it all dialed in where like everything above the rafters was also storage. So like I had my rooftop tent up there. I have a lot of like extra bike parts up there. It was really dialed. The space was super dialed, and I really enjoyed it. But the house was pretty small, and we were in the city, and we kind of wanted to get farther out into the county, which here in Wisconsin, moving out to the county is that's kind of farmland. Like literally my backyard is a farm.
Wow.
Like we have tractors. Like we can sit outside and watch tractors like till up the land. Like we're next to a farm. But the upside is that there's a little bit bigger property out here, a little bit bigger houses. And with a bigger ranch house comes a very large basement, because here in Wisconsin, everybody's got basements. So ultimately that's almost like free space, right? It's like overflow. Everybody puts their stuff, their junk in the basement. And in this case, the basement had not been touched. Nobody had done anything to it. There was no walls. It was just, it's wide open, as you can see, and as you will see on Saturday when I release the next video. But so our current garage is smaller than our last garage. So there wasn't enough room really to do anything in the garage. There's a pretty big shed in the backyard, but I would have the same issues as I had the last Dutchman's Den. The issues were it was not heated or cooled. And it was not connected to the house. And I had to park trucks in there. So if I ever spread out, right, if I was ever doing a project where I was kind of spread out throughout the whole garage, if I didn't finish it, I had to pack everything up, bring it back in the house,
man,
and then start again. And then so I could put the trucks away and then start again the next day.
Because you were filming your YouTube videos in the Dutchman's Den as well, yeah, sometimes?
Yeah, so like inadvertently, I made that first video. I think it's maybe my third video on my channel. I don't remember, but it was the first video that actually people watched. We'll say that. And that was the Dutchman's Den video. And like that video was so well received. That's kind of like that was kind of my launching pad to doing more YouTube stuff. And because it didn't dawn on me that many people would think that it was cool, I guess. To me, it was just, again, it was a very selfish project. It was made to be everything that I wanted. And I had no idea that people would think it was that cool, but lo and behold, they did. So that video and other videos like it have done really well. And that kind of prompted other videos, because I've always built bikes. Like I'm always upgrading bikes. I'm always building bikes. Like every year I try to build 1 or 2 bikes. That's just what I've been doing over the last probably 15 years. But I never filmed it. Like that's not anything that I thought anybody would care about. But it turns out that's the most compelling content I make, apparently, is all of anything that was filmed in that space. Those are the videos that I get the best reaction from. So it's just kind of snowballed from there to where any video that I would make, it would happen in the Dutchman's Den, and it became its own thing. Like when I built it, it wasn't the Dutchman's Den. There really wasn't a Dutchman per se. It was more of an idea. So then once we built this space, it became the Dutchman's Den, and now it's like a whole thing. But then when we moved, again, I'm trying to decide what's the next step. Our current garage is too small. The shed, again, is the same issues, no heating, no cooling. But the basement is wide open. It's untouched. There's heating, there's cooling, there's running water, there's it's got high ceilings, and it's the same amount of space, but I don't have to park cars in it. Like I don't have to put trucks in it. So I have the same amount of space, but I can utilize all of it for whatever I want. So now when I do projects,
spread out. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, now when I do filming down there, I can keep all my cameras down there. I can keep all my, like, all this live stream stuff that I got set up that I have to put together every time. I'm going to set that space up so that it's always set up. And like when something pops up like a podcast, I literally just sit down, turn on some stuff, and I'm ready to go instead of setting everything up all the time.
So this will be dead winter. It doesn't matter.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
This will be the next step. What I didn't realize about the first Dutchman's Den is how much I would need it all year round. And 2, I didn't realize how much I would use it for filming. Like that was never a consideration. So the next Dutchman's Den, part 2, will be more geared towards, I don't know why I chose that, but it'll be more geared towards being able to film and do live streams and stuff like that. And then also I can use it all year round, because heating that garage and trying to film was pretty annoying. Because let me tell you what, there was some cold time filming in that garage, because you couldn't run the heater and film at the same time because it was too loud.
The noise, right? So you'd have to like cut the heater and then start the film project. I think I saw a couple scenes where you could actually see your breath. You really have to look, but is that?
It's there. Yeah, for sure.
Oh man.
Oh my God. I'm super stoked on this next project. It is going to be so much work. It's so much work. Like, because at least last time I started with, like, at least I didn't have to build walls. You know what I mean? Like, the layout was already there. I just had to plug in the pieces to it. This time around, I have to design everything. So the reason that last video was 4 weeks ago is because I spent 2 weeks just designing the space. Now that I had the design and I drew it all up, finally started the framing, and that's done. I finished the framing yesterday. So the video that comes out Saturday will be that framing process.
Dang. Wow. And you have all the tools for all that. This is something you do on your own. You're not bringing people in. This is all you.
Yeah, I'll probably get some help from a few people along the way. Like we're gonna end up spray painting, like the whole ceiling in this area is gonna get actually like painted a flat black instead of like a drop ceiling. The ceiling is gonna be flat black, and then I'm gonna do like some of that cool like hex grid lighting, which will kind of be like the ceiling and the lighting at the same time. So I'm gonna have some help spraying that. Like Ryan's gonna help me with that. I'm sure Sarah and my mother-in-law are gonna help me paint, because I'm not a painter. But they're very good at painting, so they're going to help me with that, and some staining. I'm sure there'll be plenty of wood staining that's going to have to happen. But yeah, I've just been fortunate enough to, in my careers, just learn a lot of trades, so I can do a lot of it. Like the electrical is that's my favorite. Like I love the lighting. The lighting in this next one is going to be awesome,
dude.
It's going to be awesome.
That hex lighting, I was able to get some of that hex lighting in the garage here.
It's so cool.
Man, it just lights everything up. It looks so good. Like it turns everything futuristic.
It looks super awesome.
It's pretty neat. And I'm always calling Joey. I'm like, Joey, how do you do this? And what do you do? Like, how do you guys learn all this stuff? I mean, to be able to do it all, I'm looking at contractors like, can you cut a piece of wood in half for me? How much is that?
Yes. I mean, we all have our limits, right? I mean, we all can do some. We can do most things in some capacity, right? So it's just a matter of to what capacity do you have to do something. And it's just in my, like I said, while growing up, and then in my careers, I've learned a lot of mechanical skills, which I've also just never stopped doing stuff. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid to do something that I'm uncomfortable. I mean, hence this whole YouTube thing that I've done. It's like, when you start, you have no idea what you're doing, and you're very self-conscious and you're nervous and it's uncomfortable, but you just take that leap, and next thing you know, a couple months later, you have a reasonable idea of what YouTube is and how to run a camera, and it's a matter of just being around it, doing it, keeping those skills fresh by using those skills as much as I just don't ever stop. That's the thing, is like I'm just always doing something, whether it's something mechanical, working on a bike or working on a car or a motorcycle or a home improvement project or a video. It's just like I just don't stop. And I think that's what helps me just keep skills fresh. And I think that probably helps a lot of people. That's just what works for me.
Heck yeah. Fresh is always good. No expiration date on JT, that's for sure. You gotta keep it when you're a long ways away. But when you are doing the YouTube channel, and you're working on these things, you said you were already working on bikes and then you decided maybe I'll just kind of film this, or was the build out of the Dutchman's Den the first time you thought maybe I should film this? Where did that all inspire from?
Well, that's the funny thing about it, right? Is because the first Dutchman's Den, there is absolutely zero footage of the build because I didn't consider it. Right. It wasn't until it was done that I was like, ooh, maybe this would be cool on YouTube. And so I don't have a single second of video footage of that being built. Nothing. I have some pictures because that's what I did back then. Just take pictures. But again, it didn't occur to me. Nowadays, if I do anything, I got 100 gigs of footage of whatever it is I'm working on. You want me to pull it up? I'll pull it up. I got plenty of footage.
Right.
But at that point, I guess, like I said, once it was done and I had been kind of dabbling in YouTube a little bit, I had done a few POV videos, and I just thought that maybe that would be a good piece of content. Right. And it was only, I think the original video is 2.5 minutes long. It's not like, it wasn't anything serious, but I kind of had been into cameras and videos and creating that type of thing prior to the Dutchman's Den, but that really was, the Dutchman's Den video was the beginning of my YouTube career, 100%.
Wow, that's really cool. And another thing I noticed is when you're in front of the camera, you look so relaxed. When you're filming your videos, did you ever have that growing pain of like you turn the camera on and your brain goes blank? Did that ever happen to you, or
like today, like earlier today? Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
There's nothing easy about me talking. This is easy, conversational.
Yeah.
No problem. Like this is. I can certainly hold a conversation, but man, when that camera's on, I could have a very simple sentence, and I will screw it up every possible way you can imagine. But I finished filming today, and I just get so mad at myself. And I was thinking this thing, exactly what you're saying, is that people probably think that I'm good at this by now after talking in front of a camera for so long. I am not. I'm not. And that was proof again today, where I think I threw something today. If I remember, I think I threw like a tape measure or something, because this little sentence, I think it was just like the closing sentence of like something I say all the time. And it took 10 minutes just to get one line out. Like, why can't I speak? I just want to speak. I just want to say the words. Just let me say the words, man. I want to be done with this.
I know.
And I often think to myself, like, what a weird scenario. Like, what if the fly on the wall to like be looking at this idiot in a basement by himself, just talking to nobody and doing a horrible job at it. And I'm like, yeah, like this is what I do now. Like I should be better at this, but I'm just not. So it's a struggle, but I guess, the struggle is part of the joy of getting it done, right? When you finally get it done, and it was a struggle, it feels better. But even that story, that 24-second story that I put up 15 minutes before, if I looked at my phone right now, I bet you I have 15 takes.
On that, really?
Just on that, yeah.
I wouldn't have known that. Wow.
Absolutely, Mia.
Yeah, Mia says words are hard, dude.
Yeah.
Yes. Easy to read, hard to say.
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of a get a bigger hammer type of guy. Like, I'll just muscle through stuff. Like, if I can't figure something out, I will hit it with a bigger hammer and a bigger hammer and a bigger hammer and muscle through till I figure it out. If I have my mind set on finishing this thing, whatever it is, like if I just want to put up a story, like I just want to get up a real quick story about this podcast, Like I'm gonna get it done. I may screw it up 15 times, but at least I'll get it done.
I
So
like that.
I'll muscle through it. But please don't get me wrong here. This is when you see me looking, what'd you say, calm, relaxed? That's not
Yeah.
the case.
Inside, it's going haywire. It's
Inside,
like there's a leak
yeah.
here, there's another leak here. I'm
Mhm.
trying to patch it up.
Yeah,
Oh man.
it's tough. I assume that most people have that issue, but the more I talk to people, the more I realize that some people are just really good at it. It's just not me.
No, I mean, it comes across really good. I would have not known it took you 15 takes for that story. It was great. It was like, I've got lots of wood. And then you transitioned it beautifully into the podcast plug. I was just
Yeah.
like, man. And then in your video, you're talking to the camera, and then you're like, I can do whatever I want. And then like you have the RC car going around.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
then,
Yeah.
at one point you cut the audio and you're looking at the camera, it's way far back. You're like, there's only one problem, and you can hear that the audio isn't on mic anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all
Second
those little things, it's like, damn, this guy's good. This guy's good.
I think technically, like you say, like that, like just using that B cam audio for that last little bit there. I think I've learned some decent technical skills when it comes to even filming, right? And I think that's part of why I love cycling. One of the many reasons that I love cycling and cinematography, videography, whatever you want to call it, is that technical side of it.
Mhm.
Just learning the ins and outs of how the camera works. I think I can figure that. I feel more comfortable learning that than I do trying to get the words out clearly. Like it's easier for me to set up a shot and set up the composition and the lighting and set the camera up than it is for me to then once I get in front of it, it's like, okay, here's where the wheels fall off. You know what I mean?
Oh man, I swear, I think it takes us all a long time. I was actually even talking to like the big one in our industry, Seth, and
Yeah.
he said his story was like it took 7 years. He'd click on the camera and do his thing, and then after about 7 years, he'd click on the camera and he almost forget the camera's there. He just start talking,
I hope I can get to
and
that point at some point.
yeah, same. That would be nice. That'd be nice.
And I'll tell you what, I'll give it 7 years. If that's what it takes, I'll put in that 7 years if I can get to a point where it gets easier.
Yeah.
For sure.
The beautiful thing is that your finished work does not feel like you're uncomfortable, That's good.
That's
I
good.
mean,
Yeah.
that's probably why we have 100 gigs of memory in our cameras, so we can just cut through everything.
The reason I say 100 gigs is because I literally today, from what I shot today, which was most of the video, I went to upload it, and it was one camera, 60 gigs, second camera, 40 gigs. I was like, you gotta be kidding me, man. 100 gigs?
Wow.
I'm running out of terabytes here, bro. Come on.
Wow, that's huge. That's huge. We have a couple Joy's keyed up a couple comments in here. It says here, Trail Pepper saying, hurry up, Dusty Dutchman. Yes, any relation to Dusty Betty? Ooh.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, Sedona bound. There's a girl in Sedona. Her husband is actually Hardtail Party. They're YouTubers.
Okay.
Her name is Dusty Betty.
Cool.
They
I mean, I
do
like
a
her
lot.
name, so we
Yeah.
would probably get along.
Yeah. Maybe a long distance relative somewhere.
Yeah. That could be. Yeah.
Joe Pip is saying Rich Payne. I'm trying to figure that one out. What does that mean?
That's who was at Gordon's shop.
Oh, from GMBN.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
I was like, Rich Payne, like, is that the rapper?
Yeah, you need a good bike mechanic in the Carlsbad area. Vallejo Hangar.
Vallejo Hangar. There you go. Yeah, if GMBN knows about it, they're coming from overseas even. That's insane.
I was there all the time.
Yeah. Trope saying JT and Spokesman need to compare man cave garages. Yes.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the Spokesman and I just became friends, or we follow each other on Instagram now, so I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, he's in Durango, so he's got he had to build out as well for the weather changes and everything. But
there's so many
very
cool
similar mindset
places out there, man. There's people do some really cool stuff, man. That's part of like what keeps me inspired is like there's so many other cool, way better like garages and build outs than I could ever do. And it's great. It's cool to watch. That's what's so cool about YouTube is we get exposed to that. Right. We get to see what everybody else is doing and just, it gives you more. It's like, looking through the JC Penney catalog when you were a kid, like, man, someday I'm gonna get this RC car, or I'm gonna get this GI Joe thing or whatever. Nowadays, it's like, ooh, I'm gonna build me a garage like that.
Yeah. Was it Sebastian, normal MTB, or he had a video reel on Instagram, or I don't know whose house he was at, but he was like Dream Garage and he built out this fun reel, but it was like a speakeasy. It looked
Mm,
like a normal small garage, and he knocked on a door and you opened it up, and like it was literally a bar with all the seats and
yeah,
like
I
the
did see
crazy
that. That
lights, and
was
yeah.
sick.
Wasn't
Yeah,
that
totally.
sick?
That was
I
sick.
wonder
I do
I
remember that.
wonder I wonder who did that one. Who's shout
Yeah,
out to
that was
whoever's did
great.
that. Um, Marty in New Zealand is asking, what is JT's favorite bike?
Great question. I would say I am between my new Thunderhawk titanium gravel bike.
Good Lord, titanium.
Yeah, just because it's just super rad. I love that bike. I'm between that. I would say, all right, it's my Ibis Ripley. I know there's some Ripley hate out there, but that's one of my that's one of the best bikes I've ever owned in my entire life. Like that bike is just it impresses me every time I ride. I love that bike. It's kind of a go-to bike for me, but um lately, especially with my shoulder injury last year or this year or whatever. Yeah, it was last year. I rode a way more gravel road bike than
Is it?
I ever have. So yeah, that one right
Ooh, there
there.
it is, right there. Dang,
Um,
Joey.
so I spent a lot of time on that bike just because I was not I didn't mountain bike very much last year due to the injury. So I put a lot of time on that. I found a lot of respect for just road riding, and even though the road riding is where I was injured, I still spent a lot of time on that bike. And it's never had a titanium bike before. That's kind of one of those, again, JCPenney catalog as a kid. Like I want a titanium bike.
Dude, that
Finally
thing
got
looks
one,
like,
built it out, love it, absolutely love it. So I would say it's a tie. It's a tie between that Bear Claw and my Ripley.
what is it about you said the Ripley got a little bit of hate. What kind of hate did
Just
people put on the Ripley?
well, just because it's kind of like the Toyota Corolla of mountain bikes. It's kind of like one of those like everybody's got one type of thing. You drive around,
Oh,
you see
I
them
see.
everywhere.
Got it.
Um, in
Nothing
fact,
performance
in
about. Yeah.
fact, mediocre mountain biker who's in the chat right now, if you're still on here, why don't you go ahead and drop a comment in the chat about what sticker you have on your bike, because it's a little hateful towards the Ripley. We'll wait.
Is
See
it?
if it pops up. We'll see if it pops up.
Mediocre
Yeah.
mountain bikers saying, Dusty Betty had her channel first.
There's a lot of dust came before me. Let me tell you what. I'm not the first. Yes,
Shots fired.
there you go. See, one
Yeah,
less
there it
Ripley.
is.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
saying one less Ripley is the
yeah.
sticker that he has on.
And he had the gall to put that on a bike and ride with me when I was
Oh,
riding my Ripley.
did he show it to you?
Come
Like,
on,
check out
man.
this new sick sticker I
Yeah,
got.
I'm like, dude, come on.
Sounds like something Joey would do.
Yeah, don't hate on my taste, bro. My taste is obviously it's good. Look at everybody else is riding the same bike.
I mean, that's really the only thing, though. I mean, performance-wise, the bike's treating you well. It's just that
Love it.
you
Yeah,
see
love
them
it.
everywhere type of thing.
Yeah,
I
I get that.
gotcha.
I totally get that, and that's why I tried to put a bunch of different parts on it. I mean, it's got my bird wheels are on that bike. It's got a bunch of the oil slick SRAM stuff on it. So I tried to make it a little different, but I get it. Yeah, I get it. There's a lot of them out there, but it's because they're great bikes. It's the Toyota
Yeah.
Corolla, man. Toyota Corollas don't die. They get you
Yes.
where you got to go.
Priced right, dependable.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes. Now, as far as bird wheels go, is it true? Do those things grow out of the ground where you live now in the farmland?
If you live on the farm, they sure do.
Yeah, damn, we got to get out there.
Yeah, I know. I'm waiting for another set to pop up because I got some other bikes I could use some more bird wheels. So I got to plant some more spokes come springtime.
That is so awesome. I love that. I love that when you put that in there. Now, as far as riding on those, I've seen them. I think our pal um Colorado Kid has them on his bike, but I've never actually been on them. Can you feel a difference? Is it I'm assuming like there's a big weight difference and there's some stiffness to it for turning?
They're 100%. They're super light. Like they're very, very, very light. Lightest set of wheels that I've ever owned. They are 100% different. Like they are, I've got a lot of different wheels, aluminum of many different widths and carbon of different widths and depths. And the thing about the birds is just like when you're cornering and when you're really hard on them, they don't feel any different than any other, like my Envy wheels, for example, which I thought were my best, like all mountain wheel to that before I got my bird wheels. Very, very like confidence inspiring, very tough. Like you don't ever like, you hit a rock just right or wrong. On a lot of other rims, you get that feedback, that, that really bad 20, just like
Yeah.
you feel it in your bones, you know what I mean? And even that's
Joey,
even on a carbon wheel. Like I hate that. You're
yeah.
never going to feel that on a bird wheel.
And it
At least
captures so good
I
on
didn't
GoPro
experience that.
too.
Yeah, for sure.
You hear it.
But it's hard to explain. I've learned even with that titanium bike is there's so much about what you feel that you also hear. Like
Oh.
it's a weird thing to explain, but like there's a somewhere in between what you hear and what you feel it's the combination of the two things that kind of like give you the sensation of like a dampened or softer or better ride. And I've noticed that, like I said, through the titanium, I feel that it's a very nuanced sensation that it's hard to put into words, because it is somewhere between what you feel and what you hear. Like when you ride an aluminum bike and you ride it down the road, and you feel and you hear certain things when you hit a bump or you hit a crack in the road or whatever, versus titanium, you hit the same crack in the road and it doesn't sound the same or feel the same. And it's like that combination of things, like those two things go together to create a different experience. Wow. And it's like, it's hard to explain. It's almost like when you ride an aluminum bike versus a titanium bike, it's almost like someone put a coat of rubber, like a little thin coat of rubber across everything that you ride over. And just a little bit just takes the edge off. Wow, and the same thing is with those bird wheels. It's almost like every rock and every landing has like this little thin sheet of rubber on it and just takes the edge off. It's very strange, but it also sounds different.
Yeah, that sounds satisfying actually, because
where
we are out here, there's a lot of rock, and when you hit it, and if your PSI isn't where you want it, I mean, you get that feedback, and it's like a cringy feedback, kind of like you're just like gritting your teeth, like I hope I make it to the bottom. Yeah, right. I hope I just didn't structurally do something.
Yeah, 100%.
And Joey just went down not too long ago. Oh,
yeah,
there it is. Is that it?
Mediocre. Yeah.
There it is, folks. Mediocre mountain biker stealing the show with what? That's not a small sticker either.
No, I told you, man. I was
gonna be like the stem cap or something.
No.
Top too.
Hey, good for you for finding that. I appreciate you helping me call him out on this, because that's a good find right there. I respect
what a pal.
Mediocre. I respect you, putting that out there and being true to your feelings. That's all good. I'm good with that.
So funny. He put that on there partially for you. I wonder how much of that was it. Was it 40%, 50%, 55? I mean, that's a commitment. That's a big sticker. Oh my God. That is hilarious.
Yeah.
MTV Co-op is in the chat. Oh, sorry, go for it, Joey.
Oh, I'm out.
Trail Pimp big sticker. Yeah. MTV Co-op is saying, Jonathan, I'm from northern Wisconsin and would love to ride with you in Minnesota or Wisconsin sometime. My in-laws just moved to Rhinelanders, so you got me excited to go to Windman Trails.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. That's my home. Those are my home trails that are 5 hours from my house.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah, let that sink in. I'm pretty sure I follow MTB Co-op on Instagram, so hit me up, send me a DM. Let's figure something out. Let's do it.
That's so cool.
But yeah, the Windman Trails are 4.5. It's a 4.5 hour drive for me to get there, but that's my home away from home for sure as far as mountain bike trails go.
I gotcha. You love them out there. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, this was a cool interaction. We're talking about community, MTB Co-op, and you just linking up for a future ride. And you actually came to us from our pal in Miami, all the way down south into the east, Johnny U.
Yeah.
How cool is the mountain bike community?
That's the best, man. I think about it a lot, just because like I probably overthink just about everything that I care about, but when you really kind of break down the reasons, like the motivations for a lot of things, and we've, myself included, have been wrongfully motivated by money in the past, but when it really comes down to why I do what I do, it's just like, there's obviously being a positive person or just spreading positivity in every way you can is super important. But the best thing that you can do with that is spread it, right? And through through the community of people that you know are like-minded. And I know that you've used that term before, like-minded people, right?
Yeah.
And it's like people like Johnny, like that are so inspiring to me, that he has basically, his online persona is nothing more than to just bring people together, right? Like
Yes.
he
Yes.
is he's I have so much respect for what he does, and he's so good at it. He's an absolute professional, and just no, I will not, Johnny.
Saying, "Stop it.
I will
Shh."
not,
Yeah, let's keep
because
going. Let's keep going because this is good.
yeah, I mean, you've all felt it. It's like it's a Johnny U effect, right? Let's coin it. It's the Johnny U effect, and here we
It
are
is.
as a result of the Johnny U effect. But
Yes.
I say this a lot, and it's one of my favorite things to say, is that one of the best things about what I do is meeting men that I met on the internet.
Wow.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Tell me
That's
I'm wrong. Tell me I'm
no.
wrong.
It,
It's
it's a good
great.
conversation starter too.
It's great. It's great. This is the best form of currency in my opinion, because and most of us, I would say, are probably not getting rich from YouTube,
No.
but
No.
we are certainly getting rich in regards to relationships and spreading
Yes.
positivity, and just giving ourselves a better future every day for us and our community, by getting to know each other and creating these connections. Like, there's no value that you could possibly put on like what Johnny is doing.
Yeah, this is true. The currency behind what you get from this, from building relationships and networking in the community, it's huge. And it's
It's the
like,
best.
and it's so easy in the mountain bike realm. You just kind of put yourself out there, and one thing leads to another, leads to another. And you're like, how did this happen? How is this all
Hmm.
happening?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
You have no idea the how you get from A to Z, but all those letters in between are all part of the process, and they're all
yeah,
meaningful, and they're great. Like, it's the journey, you know what I mean? Like, we always talk
totally.
about, it's not the destination, it's a journey, and that's like a mantra for mountain bikers, right? But
Yeah.
that's 100% right. And we're all on it. We're all on
to-
that journey in different ways, and it doesn't matter your skill set or anything when it comes to what you ride. Even if it's a Ripley, you could even ride an Ibis Ripley.
Even if there's one less out there.
And you can ride an Ibis Ripley, and you can still make friends that you could potentially have for the rest of your life. That
Yeah.
you have no idea how you get from A to Z. There's no way to know, but it's getting through those letters that's the funnest part.
It sure is. I mean, just this last weekend, we did a group ride, and I see that Capu Coffee is in the house. What's up, Eric? And when you're riding with friends like that, and you haven't ridden in a while, you're instantly a little kid again. Like, work's not on your mind, the mortgage payment's not on your mind, investing into this stock, none of that
Yeah.
stuff is even matter. It's not even in the brain anywhere. It's
Mhm.
about, can I stay on this tire? Are we gonna die? Are we having a good time? It's like
Yeah, yeah. Is this
and
my
laughter.
last ride ever?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you make that turn, you're like, "No, it's not, baby. Let's go."
Uh-huh. Yeah,
It is just laughter, and it's just, ah, man, there's something
yeah,
about it. I wonder, JT, I wonder how much of this we're
yeah.
starving for because we have screens that demand all of our attention. We have work, we have mortgage payments, but what, millions of years ago, or maybe not even that long ago, maybe hundreds of years ago, we were in a pack hunting down food for all of us and
No kidding.
for the village and everything. Now that's all gone.
Yeah,
Now we're in our car by ourselves. Like, don't look at me. I have my cup of coffee
yeah,
from Starbucks.
yeah.
It's like I just got to get
Uh-huh.
to my location and do my
Yeah.
job. But then
Yes.
when we get on the bike, feel like we tune into something
Yeah,
there
yeah.
that we miss, and I wonder if that's why our community is so strong.
I'm certain. Yeah, and especially anything that's done where there's progression, and you're pushing yourselves in any capacity, whether you ride your first skinny or you hit your first 8-foot tabletop, whatever, doesn't matter. You get your tires off the ground for the first time, like that level of stoke, and whoever was there with you, those are memories that you'll never lose. Like, they're there forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's what's like that progression, that stoke that you get from progression. You know what I mean? Like, I will never, I've never felt the same of, let's say I got a promotion at work or something. or someone gave me an attaboy at work, that's great, but it's probably not the same feeling as I would get from, hitting a 30-foot jump that I've never hit before, and I've been looking at it for the last 3 years. It's totally different. It's just it's totally different, and it's just I don't know. It's very, very free. It's a mindless fun that you just can't replicate in any other way, I guess.
Yeah, you're right. It's like an active meditation. You're just
Mhm.
kind of locked in and zoned and only go so far with your thought, because you're
Yeah.
trying to survive, you're trying to stay
Yeah.
on it. And then when you get to the bottom and you look around and everyone made it with you, and it's just
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
holy did you see that? I
Yeah.
can't believe we hit that.
Yeah.
That feeling just
Yeah.
never will go away. That's
Yeah.
so good.
And I know
So good.
that's definitely something for me because I'm an overthinker. I definitely overthink everything. So when I mountain bike and like you said earlier, the only thing you're concerned about is just holding that wheel, just not letting
Mhm.
this guy go or girl or whatever, and just like holding that
Mhm.
wheel and not letting them get away.
Yeah.
Or just keeping that train going or whatever, clearing the next jump. Like that's the only thing you can focus on at that point. There's no room for any other outside thought to enter your brain. And that's what I love. And I think that's part of why I stay so busy, is just to keep focused. Like my mind needs to be focused, and I know that. And that's where I'm the most effective.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. That makes sense. Dude, this last weekend I was on Joey's tail on a trail called Speakeasy, and Joey was pulling away from me, and I had the camera rolling, so you know how it goes when the GoPro is on
Oh yeah.
and the
Yeah.
rider in front of you starting to get out of
Oh
frame,
yeah. Can't let
and you're
that
trying
happen.
everything you can to catch up, and Joey's just
Yeah.
like eking away, eking away, eking away.
Yeah.
And there is a feeling there too, like if you're running with the pack and all of a sudden you're kind of losing the pack.
Mhm.
There's this feeling of like, oh man, oh
Mhm.
no. It's like it's deeper than just falling back. It's like, oh shit.
For sure. Oh yeah. Yeah, and speaking of letting different like thoughts come in, you start falling off the back of a group, and all the doubt in the world starts to enter your mind.
Yeah.
I'm in the worst shape. I'm
Yeah.
so terrible. I didn't
Yeah.
ride enough. I ate the wrong thing. I shouldn't have drank so
Yeah.
much last night. Like everything.
So true. The
Yeah.
PSI in my tires.
I'm
I hit
selling
that
this bike.
corner wrong. That's
Done.
like one
This
less
Ripley's
rip.
out of here. I hate this thing. Mediocre mountain
Oh.
biker was right. This thing sucks.
Hey, he's throwing a sticker back at me, that
Yeah.
bastard.
I want a different bike, and I want that sticker now.
Mark, you didn't know it, but I adjusted your brakes so they were dragging the whole time.
The whole time.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I can't stay off the pedals this time. This is so hard.
The other thing that's
Oh.
cool is I'm sure between the two of you guys, you have completely different style. Like you guys probably ride, and you have each of you, I'm sure, has very specific style attributes to the way that you ride. If I had to guess, could you speak to that?
Yeah, definitely. Joey
I
has specific skills that he's practiced over a long period of time.
I don't know. I feel
A
that
set
Mark
of-
and I are we're
A
pretty,
particular set of skills.
we're pretty close
Yeah.
to the same writing. Would you
Yeah.
say, Mark? And like you and I, pretty much, if I see you do it, I'll do it. If you see me do it, you'll do it.
But
We
who's
definitely-
But
who's
we'll
the
carry
finesse?
each other because we have a strength in one spot, and he'll have a
Yeah,
strength in another, and that's
Yeah.
what takes us to the next level.
Yeah, I think Joey's strength is definitely climbing, technical, and steep. And mine, if I had one that I'm pulling for the group, it's the jumping part.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I've seen you
everything
hit
else I
some-
learned from Joey.
Seen you hit some big stuff.
Yeah, just like, Joey, what do you think? I mean, there's been times we've been on a trail we've never been on before, and that moment where you're on the line of doing it or not. And I've turned to Joey and said, "What do you think, man?" And there was one in Haas. Joey's like, "I don't think it's worth it," and I was like, "Yep,
Yeah.
that's all I needed to hear. We're
Yeah,
packing up and out of here."
All right.
Yeah.
You say
But-
so. Yeah.
But yeah, there was a boy. I really wanted to, but when you're with a buddy that knows your writing style, like you're saying, it's just like, okay,
Yeah,
Joey
yeah.
knows me better than I know my own writing sometimes, so I better listen to that. And it's way more fun to ride home than be in an ambulance.
Oh, man. Mhm. Tell me about it.
JT, do you remember this whole wild ride of mountain biking that turned into YouTubing and then the Dutchman's Den? Do you remember the first time you laid eyes on a mountain bike and you first stepped into this world? Do you remember that moment?
I do. Yeah. there was I would assume like most people, there was the local bike shop that most of them don't exist anymore, unfortunately. But back in that day, there was a local bike shop that we would ride our bikes to. Of course, like whenever we had a free moment, we would go check out. This is back when they would have like the glass cases of like all the cool BMX parts, and like
Oh
up on the
yeah.
wall would be like every color grip you could ever imagine, and like the cool cranks and um, all the jewelry, all the biking jewelry was in the glass case. And we would ride our bikes there, which was kind of a long ride, but we would go there probably once a week just to see what was new there. But there was I never had great bikes as a probably till I don't know, early teens. I always had like probably a Sears model, something from Sears, or we'll say JCPenney, since
Yeah.
that's been a topic many
Yeah.
times. But I always had like an off-brand bike, like a Free Spirit or something weird, where everybody else had like GTs and dynos and Redlines and Haros. I always had something weird that was
Paro and
off-brand.
GZ. Same.
Yeah. Like when all the kids had Jordans, I had Hoops. Remember Hoops? Yeah. Yeah.
I had roos, I think, kangaroos,
There
where
you
you could
go.
put stuff in the pocket.
Yeah. But yeah, I never had the cool bike. So whenever we would go to the bike shop, I'll always be looking at the different mountain bikes they had. My first mountain bike that it was rigid. It was a Schwinn Sidewinder, I think it was. It was like black with green, and it was rigid, just hardtail rigid. It didn't. I mean, it had. I think it had cantilever brakes and like thumb shifters. It was, but I bought it with my own money. And again, I think I was probably 12 or 13, but I had been saving up doing lawns and whatever kids do to make money when they're young. But that was it. That was it. Once I had that Schwinn Sidewinder, that was when we started riding like single track, like what I would still consider single track to this day.
Yeah.
And then we started seeing people with front suspension, and there was like, that particular shop was a Cannondale shop. So you'd start to see these Cannondales pop up at these trails. And there was like a bright orange Cannondale, like CAD 3. So there was like, actually there was two shops. There was one that was closest to me that was Schwinn Cannondale. And there was one that was like a little farther away, the other side of town. And they were like Gary Fisher Trek.
Oh, okay.
So, and it was like, who are you? Which side
which side?
Which side of the city do you live on? And if you saw
wow.
someone with a Gary Fisher or a Trek, you knew they were from that side. If you saw someone with a Schwinn or a Cannondale, you knew they were from that side.
Oh, interesting.
And I always, I was a Cannondale dude for a while. And then, I built up a hardtail Cannondale CAD 3 orange aluminum frame. That was my second, like, really good bike. Well, I should say really good for me.
Yeah.
But then
all in Wisconsin. This is all in Wisconsin.
Oh yeah. Yep. I've been living here. I've been living here since day one.
Oh, OG.
OG from the get-go. Yeah, from Jump Street. I've been living here in Racine. Just south of Milwaukee. But eventually I did make the jump to Gary Fisher. I did. That was my first, I think that was my first $1,000 plus. I think it was $1,200, and I probably bought it when I was still in high school. So I was probably 16 when I bought my first Gary Fisher.
Dude, so you were heavily into it, because $1,000 then is probably like what, 3,000 now, 4,000 now at least. Yep,
saved up a lot. I was buying mountain bikes way sooner than I was buying cars. Like I eventually kind of veered away and stopped spending so much on mountain bikes because I wanted a cool car. But my first big spends as an early teenager were on bike stuff. Like I can remember having, everybody had the JanSport backpack.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Lifetime warranty.
Big, black magic marker Gary Fisher across the back of that JanSport, like on the leather part. Yeah.
Right.
I was like, what's that? Everybody's, what is Gary? Who is Gary Fisher? I'm like, you don't even know. You don't even know.
Yeah. And then the movie Rad came out and kind of helped put it on the map a little bit.
Yeah.
Had a couple questions here. Trail Pimp is saying, let's see, he says, remember the Cannondale bikes from the bake in the day with the fat tube frames?
Oh yeah, frames.
Yeah.
Did you ever ride with the lefty?
I've ridden a lefty. I never owned a lefty.
Okay.
But my buddy that worked for Pacific Cycles, which Cannondale is a part of that, he had a lot of Cannondales, obviously, and he would let me borrow some of his higher end Cannondales. So I've spent some time on a scalpel with a lefty, and they're quite something. They work great. It's just everything's so proprietary. I like
Yeah.
nowadays I've made my fleet, let's say, to be more as most interchangeable as it could possibly be. Whereas like all my mountain bikes, I want to be able to like swap wheels and drivetrain parts, and like I want everything to be as mostly the same as possible. Road
Smart.
bikes, mountain bikes, I want everything to be interchangeable. But so that's why I haven't really gone with anything super proprietary like a lefty. But it's some great technology for sure.
Is that the one that when you're looking at the fork, it's just got one arm on one side and that's it?
You got it.
Yeah.
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 That thing
Yeah.
trips me out. It looks like it can't handle some chunk, but it does.
Yeah.
I mean,
And now they have the one like the early one was a double crown lefty, and then now they have the one, I forget what it's called, lefty ocho, I think, and that's just got the single crown where it's got half of a single crown, so it doesn't have that dual crown. It's just got the one
the
lower
one.
crown.
I think that's
Pretty
what
wild.
I'm thinking of. I think
There you go.
yes.
That's the
There it is
lefty
right
ocho, I
there.
believe. Yeah.
Wow. Dang.
Yeah. Those are super trippy. My buddy Jeremy's got one of those.
Wow. Look at that thing. It looks like the front wheel's just gonna take off on you.
Yeah.
Wait,
But then, like I said, you got that proprietary hub, which now you can't swap that wheel over to any other bike unless it's another lefty.
Oh, interesting.
Nice drop on that bike.
38. Wow, from 98 to
Oh,
the date. Is that a typo?
yeah, that's gotta be. What does that say?
Or is that
2021? 2021.
Yeah,
or is
that's
that
a while back.
is that the sales tactic on that? Like put up the original price as something ridiculous and put the sales price to where we want it the market.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Now, when you're talking about parts for your bike, are you Shimano guy or SRAM guy or where are you?
I was Shimano for a very, very long time, but when the Eagle drivetrain came out, like the 12-speed Eagle, that's when I switched over to SRAM, and now I no longer own any Shimano drivetrains. I do have some Shimano brakes, but I don't own any Shimano drivetrains anymore.
Interesting, because I've been seeing this meme on Instagram with that guy. He's like, "Ew, bro, ew, what is
Yes,
that?"
I love that guy. Yeah,
It's always like,
didn't you just do a reel with that guy in it? Like
I
today?
did,
Yeah,
because like normal MTBer had it, and then like Riding Dirty had it, and like all these guys are doing it, and they're either Shimano or SRAM. They're going back
I
and
love
forth.
that dude. That dude's hilarious. What does he say? Like,
Ew,
brother, or
brother,
brother, brother,
It says
why,
that.
brother, ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says SRAM or Shimano.
Yeah.
So you're over on SRAM now.
I'm on the SRAM. I'm on the SRAM boat. There he is. Love that.
Yeah,
guy.
there he is. When someone rolls up on a Shimano drivetrain.
Ooh.
Joey, give us some sound on that. It will probably get demonetized, but it's
brother. What's that?
Yeah, it's so good.
What's that, brother?
awesome. Thanks, Joey.
He means
That's
it. He
the
means
best.
it. He
Yeah,
absolutely means it.
those are awesome. So you know when you go through, you'll see Shimano, then you'll see SRAM. They're just going back and forth. And at one point in my feed today, that's why I did that reels, because they were like back to back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't escape this guy. He's everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know, like Shimano's great. Like they make great stuff.
Yeah.
I don't have a single electronic shifter yet. I haven't gone that route yet. Like, cause I know that when that happens, I have to buy like 5 of them. Cause again, I want everything to be interchangeable. And as soon as one swaps over, I have to do the whole thing. Like all the bikes, all the mountain bikes need to have that.
Right.
But it's Shimano, still great stuff. Like I've had a lot of Shimano stuff over the years. Honestly, I prefer their brakes. I think Shimano brakes are better than any of my SRAM brakes. The Shimano XT brakes are probably my favorite brakes of all time.
Yeah.
But I have some Hayes Dominions I haven't put on yet, so we'll see how those stack up.
Ooh, have you tried I feel like the land in between is the TRPs. It's
True.
got-
I've had TRPs in the past on my downhill bike. Actually, I liked them. They're Mangura too. Like that's another one. Manguras are
Oh, yeah,
they're a
yeah,
great
yeah.
they're a great brake manufacturer as well. They're all so close, but again, it's like, I do have a SRAM, Shimano, Hayes, and Mangura bleed kit. So it's like I might as well buy whatever because I can service all of it. You know what I mean? That's my point. Is like I'm trying to get everything so that's like similar, so I can only have one bleed kit. But that might be an area that's just that's not feasible.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough. I mean, once you like bleed yourself into one, you're gonna be like, oh boy,
Yeah,
I
I know.
need mineral oil for this one, and
Right. Yeah, 100%.
Joey and I just found this company called Freedom Coast, and they make these brake levers that drop the curvature of the
Okay.
lever by was it 12 millimeters, Joey, or was it 20?
Yeah,
It
what
was
was
a
that? Yeah,
it
I
was
don't.
a big drop, but it looks a lot like the Shimano XT,
Okay.
and they only fit the TRPs right now, but I think they are trying to work them with others. But yeah, now you have like that modular feel, but then also
Yeah.
that super bite if you need it.
Yeah.
And there's
Interesting.
been a
I'll
couple
check that
times.
out.
Yeah, and they come in all different colors.
That's cool.
Freedom Coast, they are, which are cool. I think Joey's popping something up. There they are, right there. Yeah,
Man, those TRPs are hot though.
aren't they?
That is a good looking lever though. Looks
Yes,
all
that.
seed and stuff. That looks pretty sick.
Yeah, CNC. See how it drops down like that? So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
we got them installed on our bike, and we rode a local trail out here called the Luge. And when we got to the bottom, because your finger sits in that cradle, like
Mhm.
kind of naturally, there was like zero arm pump. When we got to the bottom, I was like, this is something.
That is
This
cool.
really is something.
Are you
Yeah,
a hoverer? I'm a hoverer.
I
Like
do.
I
Oh
hover
yeah, me
always.
too.
Keep those things
Always.
on there. I keep
Yep.
that thing on me. I always keep that thing on me.
Yep. Always. Even if I'm riding the kids around,
Oh
they're like,
yeah.
Dad, why are you covering the brakes? I'm
Damn,
like,
those look sick.
I got it covered. Yeah.
Huh,
Joey,
let's
pop
check
that up again. That space
Yeah.
gray. Is that the one you have on yours, Joey?
Yeah, we actually both have. You have. Yeah, we have
Those are
that
dope.
exact setup right there.
Oh yeah, yeah. I got the gold on the Capra,
Yeah.
and the other one
those are
on
hot.
the
Hmm.
orange one's on the decoy. I think I got mediocre saying I love the color. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good looking. But dude, as far as like bikes go and where you are progressing and everything else, I mean, you have all these different bikes. So you are definitely a lover of all the disciplines of our sport,
For
from
sure. Yeah.
gravel
Yeah.
to the trail to
Fat
downhill.
bikes. Yeah.
Is there one that you favor the most, or do you just kind of bounce around depending on where you are and what the weather looks like?
Yeah, I guess I like to think about it as like a bag of golf clubs, right? It's like wherever
Oh,
wherever
nice.
you
Yeah.
lie, wherever the ball lies, you got to find the best club for that particular lie. And in that case, where are you? What's the weather? What are the conditions? What's the best way you can ride a bike today? So I like to be able to have the proper tool for the job. But if I had to pick, I've always said that I identify as a mountain biker. And as far as mountain biking is concerned, I would say trail bike. So as much as I love to ride flow trails and I love downhill trails and I love drops and jumps and a little bit of chunk here and there. So I although I probably have the most fun on like my all mountain bike, which would be my Canyon Spectral.
Ooh, sick bike.
My daily driver, like if I could only ride one and if I can only do one thing, I'm probably riding my trail bike, mediocre mountain biker, earmuffs, brother, the Ripley.
He said Ripley.
That's right, brother.
That's
right, brother.
you hear that?
That's right,
Oh,
brother.
yeah.
I could only have one. It's that one right there.
Oh,
Jeff
see,
C.
I would have bought a Jeff C if they had it in stock. I would have bought a Jeff C, but they did not have it in stock. I bought
That is-
during the worst
yeah.
possible time to buy a bike.
Did you get it when everything was short?
Oh yeah,
Everything was on the boats. I almost started a business of taking like little, seal boats out there to the big
there you go.
ships and being like,
Just getting the stuff off of them.
container
Yeah,
14145, please.
yeah. I got room for one. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
but it's gonna be expensive.
It's gonna be expensive. Mediocre mountain biker is saying, bruh.
I was between those two bikes. Well, actually, I looked at the Ibis. What's the other one? The Ripmo. But the Ripmo was like that was never going to be in stock. So I was waiting for either the Spectral or the Jeffsy to get in stock. And whenever one of those got in stock, it was like click, like the second, boom, take it, give it to me. And it was the Spectral. And in fact, I had to buy a lower model. I bought like, it was the second to the lowest model, even though I wanted like the second to the highest model, because I think there was 4. So that's why I upgraded it immediately. Like I didn't have I couldn't get the model that I wanted in the size that I wanted, so I had to get a lower model and then upgrade it. So I think I couldn't even get the bike I wanted. Even buying the bike that I wanted, I couldn't get the bike that I wanted. But ultimately, I wanted the Jeffsy. Ended up with the Spectral.
Gotcha. But the Spectral's sick
No,
too. I mean, dude, watching Braden Bringhurst do everything on that bike has got, like, I think everyone's head's going, whoa, that guy's a beast.
Man. Yeah. Oh, my guy Christian Mann is in the chat. Look at this.
There we go, right here.
Yeah,
Christian
the Fat Tire Ride.
He was saying, was hoping you would say road bike on behalf of the Fat Tire Ride.
Yeah, we do this ride that's like a place called Lake Geneva that's just south of us. And here in Wisconsin, we like to drink some beer, some alcohol of any kind. That's just kind of what we do. That's what we do here in the state. We drink our alcohol and beer. That's just part of our life.
I gotta go visit. Cheers, cheers.
But we also like to combine, in order to be the drunkest state in the nation, you have to find ways to combine drinking with everything that you do. And in our case, we do a ride called the Fat Tire Ride, which is a ride around a lake, and you hit like 12 different bars on the way. It's like a 25-mile ride. It's on the road. And cheese, yeah. Johnny, thank you, of course, the cheese. But we ride around this lake, and we hit. There's bars in Wisconsin. You cannot throw a rock and not hit a bar. Like there's bars everywhere.
Wow.
Like in this house right now, there's 4 bars in this house.
Wow.
So there's bars everywhere. But you go around this lake and you stop at every single bar and you get a drink at every single bar. And then by the time you're done, you've had like 15 drinks and you've ridden about 25 miles. And there's usually like 4,000 or 5,000 people that do this ride. So it's cool. They kind of shut down the roads. And so it's not safe by any means, but it's safer that you're not going to get at least hit by a car. But so Christian's talking about that ride, and road. And again, I did say I was a tie, Christian. I did say it was a tie between my Bear Claw Thunder Hawk and my mountain bike.
That's true. Thanks. He did, and I did get a good soundbite of how you were saying you need to. It's like bikes are like a golf bag of clubs. For any of us who have to patch it through to the wives first, that's a perfect soundbite. Like this is the reason why. I mean, I'm now on the single train, so I don't have to speak to anybody first. But when I do in the future, I will have that soundbite.
Can you imagine going golfing with just a putter? How would that work?
Yes. How would it work? How?
No one's doing that.
No,
that's not sustainable. That's not a recipe for success.
Yes, and when I do get the putter with that grip on it, I need to upgrade the grip.
Yeah, that's the grip that everybody has. That's the Ripley grip. You don't need that.
Oh my god, that's so funny. We have Johnny is saying, I am buying a ticket right now. I'm buying a ticket to fly there.
There's not
for the race.
Yeah, it is not a race. No. If there's a race, it's the race to the first bar, which we actually go to a bar. We pre-drink before that the ride even starts, because you got to tailgate. We also tailgate for everything, so we even tailgate before we go drink.
That is awesome. Trevor saying, I like driving the golf cart with a drink. That is always so fun. It always seems like out there on the course, no matter how healthy you are, when you're on a golf course, it's beer, golf cart, and a cigar has to come out at some point.
Dude, that's a vibe. That's a total
right.
Vibe. That
usually
is
like around the 9th or 10th hole, you're like, wow, where'd those come from? And there's always a story. My friend was in Cuba, and there was these things. They were by the coffee things, and you're gonna taste a little bit of like Java in this.
Yeah, you get that. You get to feel those notes. That's earthy notes coming through.
Yes, there's gonna be an aftertaste, and then they have like some weird blowtorch lighter. Like, where the hell did you get that thing from?
Yeah. What else do you use this for?
Yes.
Why do you have that?
It's a vibe. It's definitely a vibe.
It is a vibe. Yeah, I'm a huge golf. I'm terrible at golfing. Absolutely horrible, but absolutely love it. It's great.
What's your hand? Or I know what I'm talking about. What's your handicap?
I'm about a 10 beer handicap.
Yes. That's the same. I stopped counting after 100. I'm like, do I have
Yeah.
to still count the strokes here?
Yeah.
Uh,
So Christian, man, the guy that we just pulled up his comment, he's my golf buddy. We try to golf once a week at least. Last year we had a good thing going until I hurt my shoulder, but yeah, he's my golf buddy there. So he knows all about what you're saying. It's that vibe. It's a beautiful day on the course. You got your beer or your cocktail and your cigar, and it's just the only thing in front of you is the next shot. It's a great thing. Love golf.
It is a great thing. In a lot of ways, it does feel like my mountain biking because you just kind of you're looking down the fairway, kind of like you look down the trail. You kind of think about what you're gonna do, and then when you're doing it, you go mindless again. You're just
Totally.
like doing that, and then catching up with your buddy. You're like, where'd the last 4 hours go? Look at all these
That's-
text messages. Weren't you supposed to be at work
Oh,
today?
for sure. Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny because if I had to describe my golf game in one word, it would be mindless. Yeah. Absolutely mindless.
Some guys leave with a full bag of clubs and come back with like 2 or 3 gone.
That's Christian, actually.
They're in the
he
pond
leaves them in the
somewhere.
trees. I've seen him leave golf clubs in the trees, 20 feet up in the air. You'll never get
Oh
them
my
back. You're probably still
God.
there today.
That's so funny. You have somebody coming up behind you like, did any one of you lose a club or forget a club back
Every
there
time.
up
Every
in the tree?
Guys are giving me
Oh.
PTSD.
It's getting
Not
Joey.
my
Are you a golfer, Joey? You're not a
Or
golfer
beds.
or what?
I'm not a golf story, but I have a quick golf story I can share with you.
Yeah, let's hear
Let's
it,
have it.
Joey.
Was staying in Palm Springs with the family. The room came with a free round of golf. So my son, who is a golfer, him and I went early in the morning before it became 115 degrees outside and went golfing in Palm Springs.
Ooh.
Great day. When we were done, this was like around 10 in the morning because it's getting hot already. Car keys are gone. They were
Oh,
clipped
no.
on me, but they're gone. Can't
Oh.
find them.
Oh no.
We turned the cart around. We're the only people there. We followed the whole trail all the way. Everywhere we'd gone, no keys anywhere. I had to go back, rent a car, drive home, get another set of keys in Carlsbad, turn around, drive back out there to pick up my family. So I don't
Oh
know.
my.
Did you ever find him? Ever?
No, we never found them. No,
Oh my God.
nobody found them. It's a mystery. It makes no
They're in a
sense.
sand bunker somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, we did off-road the golf cart a little bit, so
Wow. You got to see what they can do.
I mean, that
like,
you got to.
yeah. You can see
why they
in
put treads
the
on the
photos
tires.
that my son took. You can see the keys hanging on my belt loop, and then so we kind of had a it was a bad day. So a free round of golf was a rental car and a long ride home, and a long ride home.
free,
Yeah.
free round of golf.
Free. And for the
Yeah.
folks who don't know, it's
Things
about a
free.
2.5 hour drive to get back and forth from
Yeah.
San Diego to Palm Springs. Oh man. Oh man. Oh, JT, I want to thank you for jumping on the show. I want to share this with everybody who's on here live or people that are watching. For the folks that are on Spotify and iTunes, you got to jump on JT's Instagram and check this out. I want to show this clip because I think this is one of the best things I've ever seen, and I want to ask you how you did it. But folks, I am going to be putting up one of the IG reels that JT did, and it's one of my favorite movies, Back to the Future. Check this out.
Man, that was such a trip. So we'll watch it real quick. The outfits.
Here it comes from the start.
Look at Marty.
McFly.
That was the coolest one reel I've ever done.
The almanac. Look at that. The details.
I love the people driving in their car right now. They're like, "What's going on?"
Right. Yeah, they're listening like, oh, what's happening? So
How did you get okay? So one of my favorite movies of all time, the hoverboard is a one wheel, and how did you deck it out like that?
So I didn't at all. So we had a Halloween party at my buddy's property there, who's got the motocross track in his backyard. That's Ryan's place. So he's got this big, beautiful barn that we have parties there a lot. And his barn has 3 bars in it as well. Just so you know, it is Wisconsin.
This is awesome.
So he has this costume party, and my buddy Jeremy and his wife, who are also avid mountain bikers. He's been in a bunch of my videos. They show up, and again, Back to the Future, same thing for me. One of the that's like my childhood, one of my favorite movies of all time. And they show up in this costume of Marty McFly and I forget what her name is, but his girlfriend. And like I saw his outfit, I'm like, dude, the level of detail, like he made the shoes. Like those, those
those
shoes that
Space
air
Age
up,
Nikes.
like
Yeah.
the auto air up shoes.
Yeah.
He bought some Nikes and built them. Same with his one wheel. He's a huge one wheeler. So he decked out the one wheeler, like took it apart, painted it, like everything to make it look like a hoverboard. That's in the video or in the movie. So he went through like just ridiculous extent to make his outfit and her outfit look like absolutely perfect. So when I saw him, I was like, dude, this is ridiculous. We have to do something. He's like, let's make a video. And he was like, let's make a video of me just riding the hoverboard. And I was like, well, that would be cool, but why don't we like recreate a scene?
Yes.
So I like quick storyboarded it, and we got his buddy to be the villain, obviously like one of Biff's boys, and Jennifer. Thank you, Christian.
Jennifer.
Yeah. And I just like real quick, I was like, all right, here's what we need to do. And quick storyboard was like, all right, we'll get all the characters. We got the Biff chasing, we got Jennifer, and we got Marty. So we get out there, and I just started barking orders out. And so I was on a separate one wheel filming. So he was on his one wheel, which is a hoverboard. His buddy was on his one wheel, at being the bad guy chasing along. And then I was on a third one wheel. That's how I got all those follow shots.
That's
and this
how you
was
got it smooth.
100% done on my phone. So I just filmed it on my phone.
Wow.
iPhone, Samsung. What kind of phone were you shooting on?
Well, I mean, an iPhone.
Is there any other?
I don't understand the question. I'm sorry.
Right.
I don't understand the question. So you're talking about a DVD player?
Yeah.
DVD player is the same. Well, was the same. Threw that away. But yeah, I used an iPhone. Anyways. Yeah, thank you, Christian. I appreciate
What's the Samsung?
So I used my iPhone, and I just kind of told him what to do, and I followed along on the one wheel, and that worked out pretty damn good. Like they did exactly what I asked, and then when it was over, I'm like, okay, I'll put this up tomorrow. Like I assumed I would go. Like when I edit like reels or shorts, I'll do them on my computer because like editing on my phone, I'm old. My eyes are old. I'm not meant for that anymore.
Damn, presbyopia.
I was like, all right, I'll put this up tomorrow. And then I was thinking about it. I was like, man, this is just not gonna. I was thinking about the timing. I'm like, because I think that it might have been Halloween that day, and I was like, well, it's not gonna make any sense if I put it up tomorrow. So I was like, shit, I gotta edit this right now.
Yeah.
So I'm at this party. I've had a few drinks. And like we're in the barn, and there's like a bunch of people everywhere. So I go in the corner, and I'm literally like in the corner like this, like
trying to edit on your phone.
editing this stupid video on my phone by myself for probably an hour, and everybody keeps coming in like, what's he doing over there? What's he and I kept asking Sarah like, what's he doing? And she's like, oh, he's editing a video or whatever. And people kept coming up to me. I'm like, you just gotta let me finish this. I swear it's gonna be worth it. Just let me be. I hate this. I hate every second of trying to edit this on my phone, but just let me get it done. And it was the worst, like editing this thing on my phone. That's not for me. I know a lot of people can edit really well on their phone. That ain't me. I need gigantic screens. Thank you.
Same.
But knocked it out and then put it out, and people were stoked. And it was it's pretty. It has nothing to do with cycling, which is fine because it's too rad of a video, and I love Back to the Future, so it worked out pretty cool.
Oh, it's awesome, man. Like the little chase scene in there, the music, the way that everybody looks, the way that you filmed it. It was. Now, what did you use for editing software on your phone? Was it like a CapCut, or did you just use Instagram to edit?
Which is it couldn't be more terrible. Like that editing software couldn't be more terrible.
Yeah. Especially
But
when
I
you're
was
trying.
so stuck. Like I didn't have a choice. I was like, I either get it up now or I'm not putting it up because it doesn't make any sense to put this up the day after Halloween.
Wow.
So I knocked it out, and it was awful to put in. Like the filming was so much fun. Like we had a blast filming it, and then we got inside, and I had to be by myself, like in trouble in the corner for an hour,
Oh
and
man.
then Sarah kept coming up to me like, "Are you gonna be done soon? Because like you're being really weird in the corner over here." And I'm just like, "No, just give me a minute. It's gonna be
Right?
worth it."
The 15
Um,
minutes turns into an hour
yeah.
scenario.
Oh yeah. I could.
Oh
Well,
man.
it's the last time I'll ever edit on a phone. It was horrible, but it was cool.
Dang.
It ended
That's hard.
up being cool, but it was all basically if their costumes weren't just so on point, it would have never been a thing. But since their costumes were just so ridiculously on point, I had to do something. Had
That
to.
is so cool. That is so cool. Yeah, that was one of the first things that I noticed is like he's got the shoes even, you know? Those like how did he
Unbelievable.
even
So perfect. The
create
hat, like
those?
that like iridescent
Ye
hat, and the
Yeah.
wigs
Yeah.
were perfect. Her outfit,
Yeah.
Jennifer's outfit was perfect. Like
Yeah.
absolutely perfect.
She was just sleeping on the swing, had no idea there
Just like
was
the movie. Just
whole
like the
things
movie.
going on.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man. For the folks out there listening on iTunes and Spotify, you gotta check out that clip and give the Dusty Dutchman a follow on Instagram and on YouTube. Great things coming out. The Dutchman's Den is coming out like within a couple days, Saturday. So you want to make
Yeah,
sure you
part 2 should be out
subscribe.
Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to see. I mean, those ceilings were high. That's a lot of wood that you had to put in there to create what you're
Told you I got
creating.
wood, man. I got a
Yeah.
as 100
Yeah.
100 2x4s were gone in like a couple days. I mean, that was
Oh,
like 3 trips.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's huge. Joey, how many is that? That many pieces
100.
of wood.
100.
Is that a
Literally
lot?
100.
Damn, I'm not even drinking over
Precisely
here.
100.
I did that
So,
math real quick.
Really good. No, math are hard,
man,
and you nailed
how
it.
do you guys do that? Oh
Years
man,
of practice.
that's so good. Yeah, give him a follow, turn on the notifications so you get that video when it drops. And ending this on a new thing that we're doing this year, JT. The previous guest asked a question to the future guest, and on closing, the previous guest asked, "How do you deal with negative comments? If you
Mm.
get any negative comments, how do you deal with it as a creator?"
First of all, I mean, there's something to be learned from all the comments. I mean, they're mostly I get entertainment from them. Like even when like the most ridiculous comments are at worst entertaining. But every now and again you get bad comments that actually have like hints of feedback, like feedback that could potentially be true. So I don't
Mhm.
know. I just try to take them all with a grain of salt. Ultimately, most of them are. People think I'm bullshitting, but most of them are very entertaining. Like the worst of the worst are at least entertaining to me. But I'll still I respond to everyone, every single one, good or bad.
Even
I'll
even the
respond to
negative one. Wow.
every single one. Yeah, and the funniest part is when you'll get like this is how you know a lot of people respond negatively for attention because because I respond to every single one. There's been 2 or 3 times now that someone will say something like super off the wall and negative, and I'll respond and be like, "Yeah, cool. Thanks for the feedback. Thanks for watching." Something like that.
They're
And
like,
then
"Oh
they'll
no,
respond,
he's on
and
me."
then I'll
Yeah.
respond, and then they'll respond. And 4 to 5 comments later, they're like, "You know what? You're pretty cool, dude. Like, you seem nice. Like, I'm sorry. Like I could pull them up because they're pretty fantastic. Like, I can think of 3 times where that's happened. Like, really negative comments have turned into, all right, well, yeah, that's you seem like a nice enough guy, so just keep up the good work or something like that. I'm like, okay.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
And
so
it's
you just
so I don't
kind of
know. I respond to all of them. I find it's certainly easier to respond to positive comments, but it is I appreciate the challenge of responding to the more negative comments and finding a way. I don't know. It's just a good social exercise, I guess, to just find ways to deal with anything. And believe me, I've heard it all.
That's good that you don't let it like hold on to you because I know for some folks, sometimes even like me included, I'll read something. I'm just like, there'll be 100 like really positive things, and then there's just the
Mhm,
one, and like
mhm.
all you could think about is that one. It's like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
man,
they certainly have a way of standing taller than the positive comments, which I think is natural. I guess I don't think like most of us would feel that way, but you just got to kind of look at where's it coming from, like, and why. And again, they probably you're going to put way more thought into why they posted it than they ever did posting it. You
Mhm.
know what I mean?
that's true.
There's a knee
Yeah,
jerk reaction. They go, "This sucks. You suck. Send." Like that's as much
yeah,
as they ever thought about it. And then you're going to sit
true.
there and go like, "Suck
Analyze it.
how? Like what part was it? Was it the first minute?" And it's I don't know. I guess again, if there's something to learn from it, then learn from it. If not, then again, if it's something that's worth it, I'll respond and be like, what specifically is the issue here, or what didn't you like about, like, if someone would say like your graphics suck, I'm like, what about them don't you like? Like
Yeah,
I would love to make them better next time around. What would you like to see? And just put a little something back towards them to see. Most of the time they won't respond, but if they do, that's fine too.
yeah.
So
No,
I think it's there are opportunities. Every comment is an opportunity, and you just never know. Like I said, you would never. I've had a lot of enjoyment showing people some of those like little text chains or comment chains about where by the end of that comment chain they're just like, "No, you seem cool, man. I'll check you later." Like, all right, see
you're
ya.
like, all
Thanks for
right,
stopping by.
peace.
Appreciate you watching. So yeah, I don't know. It's the fact that anybody reaches out, or whether it's positive or negative, there's an opportunity there. So that's kind of how I approach it.
That's great, man. That's awesome. That's a great attitude towards it. Yeah, Johnny even says it here. What a great attitude to have. I can't believe people leaving negative comments.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, seeing it as an opportunity, whether it's good or bad. Trail Pimp saying, I only leave good comments.
Boy,
Yes,
appreciate you,
this is
brother.
true. He does.
Yeah,
He does. Oh, man. JT, thank you so much for jumping on the segment podcast tonight. It's been awesome talking
awesome.
to you.
Yeah, super
So
fun.
fun. So
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, appreciate you
Um,
guys, man. It's awesome.
oh, anything in closing that you'd like to share that we haven't covered?
I don't think so. I think that was pretty good. Again, I think this is like this is the most fun that I have making content. Like this is my favorite. This is my favorite type of content. There's nothing better than this. This beats any bird spoke growing into a bird set of wheels, in my opinion. This beats any Back to the Future remake. This is the most fun that I can have on the internet. So I appreciate you guys.
Love it. I love it. Folks, give JT a follow. That you can find him on YouTube and Instagram, the Dusty Dutchman, folks. See you guys
Thanks,
on the
y'all.
next episode. Shoo!